you want me? Do you want me to go? Do you want to say something? You want me to just go? Cool.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mason Strauss, and I have the pleasure of being the Director of Music here at the Presbyterian Church of Clearfield. We host a lot of concerts and events here at the church, but this is the first time we've had a marching band here, so that's pretty exciting. And we're really glad that you are all here this evening to enjoy the concert. I just wanted to thank the musicians behind me, the adults that brought them here, the adults in front of me that brought them all here. Thank you for, instilling the arts and music into your students. That's just something that's really incredible and something very needed in our day and age, so I really appreciate that. Just a couple of logistical things. If you do have a cell phone or something that's going to make noise, go ahead and silence that right now. If you do need a restroom, there is a restroom in the back, kind of at that end of the narthex. There's also some like out here in the hallway, but you'd have to crawl over the band to get to them, so I don't know about those ones, but we're just so glad that you're all here, and we're glad that these musicians behind us are here. If you don't have a church home, we welcome you to join us on Sunday mornings. We worship at 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m., and we'd love to see you. So without further ado, the West Branch Band.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Thank you for being here with us. If you please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Well, again, good evening. My name is Lance Jones. I'm the Director of Bands at West Branch Area School District, and it's so wonderful to be here. I know it's Fair Week, and that's why we're here to bring some of that energy just across the river. So if you're someone who's been to the fair all day and coming over for a concert, or you're heading back over later, we're so welcome that you decide to join us this evening. And if you're someone who prefers to enjoy the fair respectably from a distance in air conditioning, we got you. This is for you. Now, we are doing a patriotic concert in celebration of our semi-quincentennial, or our 250th anniversary. But the secret is actually every summer concert series is usually patriotic in nature. That's something that's kind of built into our tradition, whether it be a civic band, a summer recreation band, a community band. There are bands all over the country celebrating our country through music all summer long, and it's usually patriotic in nature, but we especially, because of it's our 250th, we want to use music to honor our community and those who serve our community. So if there's anyone in the audience this evening that is a member of our fire rescue, our emergency services, our EMTs, if you would stand to be recognized at this time, please. And also we have a couple students who are, if you would stand or wave to be recognized, because I know they're involved in our local fire rescue, EMT, emergency services. Anyone? All right, if you give them a hand, please. Well, this next tune is called Guardians of Liberty, and it was established by John Philip Sousa, who made these summer concerts around the communities a tradition. And so John Philip Sousa and the President's Own Marine Band started this tradition many, many years ago, and it's still happening across the United States. And we have friends, neighbors, loved ones who serve our communities through the emergency services, and we want to dedicate this to them. This is Guardians of Liberty. Thank you very much. Now, in those traditions of patriotic summer performances throughout the country, there are some other traditions in that our other marches are traditionally not written by American composers. So you'll have a lot of Holst or Granger. And I thought that was a little bit like not cool for America's 250 to do non-American composers. It's like inviting your ex to your wedding. I mean, we could do it, we could play it, but there's some awkwardness there. And so we wanted to stick just to American composers this year in honor of our 250. So this one is a march, and it's written by an American composer. I can't remember. He's either from Arkansas or Alabama. It's all the same. But this is Darkland's March by Randall Standridge. Thank you very much. We're going to play a ballad for you next. It's called In the Shining of the Stars, and it's in dedication of our travels. Here's Pennsylvania. Okay, so our first trip was down here in Washington, D.C. in the beginning of June, and then we traveled up here to Del Grosso's, and then followed north to Carthus, and then realized that we were going the wrong way. There was no civilization there. There was nowhere left to go. And so we turned around and then hit Frenchville on the way back, and they told us not to play. They were like, there are tornadoes here. You can't stay here. All we have is tents. You got to leave. And so we're like, all right, are you still having fireworks? And they're like, yes. Yes, we are. What a weird question. And then I said, could we stay? And they said, no, there's tornadoes. And so we left. And now we're here. We're here. This is where we are now. So in our travels, it's been a wonderful summer. And Shining the Stars is in dedication to our time in Washington, D.C., where we got to play in front of the Lincoln Monument and the reflection pool. And there was a little bit of water there, just in the center, just enough. So that's what we played to, not the edges, because they still had like generators and putting water in. But they were very nice about it. They're like, do you want us to stop the generators? I was like, well, I mean, we would like to hear something, if that's okay with you. And they were really cool about it. Like, yeah. And then we played, and then when we were done, they turned them on. They started pumping water in, and the kids were like, are we going on, is this an amusement park? Are there rides here? And I said, I don't know. It's above my pay grade. But anyway, this is our ballad in Shining the Stars in dedication to our travels this summer, because this is our last stop. This is it. I should tell you. Oh, no, I'll wait. Anyway, this is in the Shining of the Stars. So we started this format last summer due to necessity, and what we found was it started to open up all these doors, like our Washington, D.C. trip wouldn't have been possible without this format. And then we realized what an opportunity it was to not only celebrate our communities through music, but honor those who serve our communities through music, and what a powerful thing that would be. And so this has been quite a journey. It's been really impactful for us and the students to play not only in a wonderful hall like this, but also like our historical theater over at the Roland in Phillipsburg. It's been really, really special. This format, though, does come with some challenges. This is a folder. We've rotated 15 different charts in and out of this throughout the summer. And our band front, led by Mrs. Bell, back there sitting down, they have over 8 routines. Is it 10? 10 to 12 routines. And so these routines have been developed, designed by our students, and then taught to our students by their colleagues and peers, led by Mrs. Bell. If you would give them a hand, please. One of the things this format has allowed us to do is really explore our history and our culture. And so we were at Phillipsburg, and we were playing polka and talking about the dance hall that was in Phillipsburg, and how polka was so popular. And if you would go a little bit south down towards Madera and Ramey and Houtzdale, and how polka was such a big thing there. Here in Clearfield, does anyone here remember the Chicklamoose? Liar. My parents were members of the Chicklamoose, and they did some mean line dancing in their day. And so it's really cool, just going 20 minutes there or 20 minutes here, how different that can be culturally, but how rich it is in our history and in our families. And so what's nice about the polka is it serves all those things. We played polka at Del Grosso's, and we were like, it's Italian day at Del Grosso's. They're serving pasta, but noodles are noodles, right? Just they're putting pasta, or they're putting red sauce or white sauce on noodles, and the polka is going to put more cabbage and butter. But it's all noodles, right? And if we slow it down, which we're not going to, we're not going to. We're not going to slow this down. But if we did, it would be very line dancing. But we're not going to experiment with that today. That's going to get weird. But if you sped polka up, then it just turns into disco. And so polka is like this all-serving thing that works for all of us. So, but we're going to play it as is because we like the polka, and I know some of you like the polka. So we're going to play that just for you. This is Pennsylvania polka. so much. Our next tune is a big band piece. Actually, it's called Big Band Super Hits. And again, one thing that this format kind of put before us was this opportunity to show our students that artistry can happen here in our communities in central Pennsylvania. It's so common for students. It doesn't matter what school district they go to, whether if it's West Branch, Phillipsburg, Clearfield, Mill Valley, Kernsville, Glendale. All these students grow up thinking that artistry in professional art is found out there or somewhere else. Really, they don't realize what a vibrant arts community we have, whether it be music, whether it be art, whether it be dance. Arts are alive and thriving in central Pennsylvania, and this format gave us an opportunity to collaborate. So in our audience tonight, we have a couple of guests. We have on tuba, we have Mr. TJ Sproul. If you give him a hand, please. On clarinet, former West Branch educator, my elementary band teacher, which was not that long ago, Mrs. Cindy Penvos on clarinet. And last but not least, standing up already, doing his stretches, getting ready for the next piece, is Mr. Mike Craw, educator at Punxsutawney area. If you give him a hand, please. So this is just not us just happen to have a couple of professional musicians who live and work in our area. I mean, that is true. That is the case. But it is a community. All of these guests have been formidable people in my life, not only as a musician, but as a person. Mr. Sproul was helping out back in the day when Mr. Gable was still the director at West Branch area, and I was a student there. Again, Mrs. Penvos was my elementary director, and then when I came back to college, she was gracious enough to say, yeah, come and get some experience and teach some lessons and learn and grow here, right? Don't go somewhere else because we have good people here. And Mr. Craw was also an educator at Harmony area when I was a student at West Branch. And one thing, again, that kids don't appreciate isn't just that artistry is here and can be found here, but something I took for granted as a student and as a young musician is I thought because it was here in Clearfield County that it was the same everywhere. And it didn't matter if it was Mr. Sproul and Mrs. Penvos and Mr. Mandel and Mr. Gable and Mr. Craw, but I grew up thinking, knowing and seeing that all these individuals, all these educators had each other's backs. They worked with each other's kids. They helped each other's programs. And I just assumed, because it was here, that that's the way it was everywhere. And it's not. And I didn't appreciate that until I left our community. And I assumed, well, if Clearfield County has these great music educators who are also wonderful performers, but also great people who work with your kids and care about the viability of the arts in our area, that it's going to be the same everywhere. And then I was sorely disappointed to find out how special this area is. And I didn't have the opportunity to thank them. So I'm thanking them now for everything and thank them for being here and being part of this evening's performance. And it's something that, again, when I came back to West Branch, I wanted to make sure that I advocated for that, for our students to realize what a great arts community and music community we have here at Clearfield County. So without further ado, featuring Mr. Mike Craw on tenor saxophone, he's going to solo, there's 3 tunes. He's going to solo on the first and third one, so you're going to have to pay attention. If you clap in the second one, I'm going to know that you weren't paying attention. But he's going to solo in the first tune and the third, not the second. But it is totally appropriate if you want to clap and cheer for him after those solos are completed. That's absolutely appropriate. But this is Big Band Super Hits featuring Mr. Mike Craw. Yeah, he plays real good. Yeah. Yeah, and so it's a wonderful experience for the students to play with these professional individuals and not just hear those sounds, but also pick their brains and learn some tricks of the trade. And so it's been a wonderful, again, communal experience and not just the experience of music together, but learning and growing and a style that we don't get to play that often, to be honest. So before we play the next piece, I would like to recognize members of our DOC and school resource officers. I was remiss in the first couple of concerts not to bring up school resource officers until I caught one who didn't stand up at the concert. And I realized, like, what a profound impact. I mean, it's unfortunate that even has to exist in our society, school resource officers. But I can say at our school at West Branch, we have a wonderful staff that goes out of their way to have a rapport with our students, and they are sometimes the first people that see our students when they get off the bus, and the first one to wish them or the last one to wish them a great day as they get back on the bus in the afternoon. So we have wonderful people that serve our community in that capacity. So if you are a member of the DOC or school resource, if you would please stand to be recognized at this time. Are there any members of the Space Force or Coast Guard with us this afternoon? I always like to check just to be sure. This is one of our favorite pieces to do for the community. This is our veteran salute. And so we're going to start with the Navy and then go to the Marines, then the Army, and then the Air Force. It is completely appropriate that if you are an active or retired service member, when you hear your song, you are to stand and be recognized. If you have someone in your family that had served in the past and you would like to stand on their behalf, that is also appropriate to clap at that time. But again, this is one of our favorite tunes in order to celebrate those who serve our communities. This is Veteran Salute. Marines. The Army. We have one more selection for you this evening. And before we play that, I'd like to recognize, first of all, our hosts, the Clearfield Presbyterian Board, and Mr. Mason Strauss, our host. Thank you so much for having us. We give them a round of applause. I'd again like to thank our guests, Mrs. Pembos, Mr. Sproul, and Mr. Croft for joining us this evening. Also, our sponsors, Spots Music Center and the West Branch Community Education Foundation for being our sponsors and making these events possible. Thank you to our families and our communities for supporting a format like this, and for our students for working so hard over the summer to create such a wonderful product. It really does take a village, and we're really proud to be a part of that village. I misspoke earlier. Remember when I said that we were done here? Because I did the whole map, and then we went down. So we're not done. Actually, from here, we're going to Dairy Queen when we're done. Because this is our last hurrah. Now, I need you to understand, that is an invitation and a warning. Okay, so you're welcome to come with us and buy your favorite musician and ice cream, or stay away. Stay far, far away. I called them earlier to give them a heads up they're coming. You could hear the panic and almost like the sadness of the realization, like we're coming and they can't tell us no. So if you're a people watcher instead of an ice cream lover, you can also be there for that as well. But this is our last concert for the summer series. We're going to take 2 weeks off, and then we come back, just like the other schools around us. We'll be fully into preparing for football season for the fall. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of this. This is our last tune, Yankee Fanfare by local composer Dr. Travis Weller.